Welcome to Verbal Peak Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome you all to the show. Today is a joyous occasion as we learn of the 3 officers and the 2 paramedics that was indicted in the murder of Elijah McClain. Now, I have a guest that's going to be on with me today, which helps me in situations like this when we're dealing with public topics such as this. And that's none other than Marcus Muhd. But I want to read something to you all from CNN. Now, I don't like to do this, but I have to do this because sometimes we don't believe the truth unless it's coming from a white source. So I'm going to read from you from a white source so you can know that it's true. Right. This comes from CNN. Grand jury indicts police officers and paramedics in 2019 death of Elijah McClain. A Colorado grand jury indicted 3 police officers and 2 paramedics involved in the August 2019 death of Elijah McClain, a 23-year-old black man who was stopped by police, right? This was in Aurora Police Department, Aurora, Colorado. Basically what happened was he was walking from the store to get some tea, and he had a ski mask on. Someone called the police saying that this guy could be a good guy or a bad guy. Police showed up, put him in a carotid chokehold. He lost consciousness. Then they shot him up with some ketamine, which he was pronounced brain dead 3 days later. Then he died. But I want to get into the part, Brother Mark, on this case because Elijah McClain was one of the bravest souls that I've heard of in dealing with these incidents as far as police brutality. One, he didn't fit the image of a criminal, right? His social media pages, you didn't see him holding a gun or counting money out or whatnot. Meaning, when I say he was brave, that he chose to live a different life other than what the narrative of a black male's life was supposed to be, that was forced upon us by a systemic racist society. Right. This guy was playing the violin. Right. He was an animal lover. He used words like, I'm an introvert. The police officer probably didn't even know what that meant when he was telling them his condition and who he was, meaning introvert, meaning he was a shy person. Right. And the thing is, you and I, we broke this story when it first happened, when it first occurred. And the passion that we had of the heinous murder and what he suffered at the hands of these police officers, there was no, they didn't even see him as a human being, right? But Brother Mark, how can we get the message across to not just the black community, but to America as a whole, how serious this death was to choke a man, then inject him against his will, and then kill him?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show, brother. We broke that story a while back. It was like when the pandemic was fresh around that time, and I encouraged the listeners, y'all need to go back and watch that video where brother broke it down and explained in images and sound how heinous this crime was that these officers committed. And now we're just now getting around to them being indicted. Just imagine the family fighting all this time through all the incidents that have happened to black people, along with COVID and the current financial situation of the country, and just now going all through the whole Afghanistan exodus and all this turmoil happening in this family, is just fighting and still seeking justice for their lost loved one, their family member that was one day walking down the street minding his own business, and then the next moment a whole life is lost from the face of the earth, never to come back again, over a difference in opinion from some other, people in uniform that just have the authority to stop you and interrupt your life, and then feel that they had the authority to determine that you need an injection.
Right. Right. What is now civil rights? I mean, civil rights versus human rights. It goes back to that. You can't force no one to be civil with you. That's their right. But there gotta be laws to where they treat you as a human being, though, because it seems like they treated him like an animal. It's like you hunting an alligator and you gotta shoot him with a tranquilizer to calm him down. When this guy's telling you, man, I'm an introvert. He told him, let me turn my music down so I can hear what you're saying. They throwing him to the ground like what the, meaning there was no opposing threat other than the color of his skin.
A small guy screaming, help, stop, and the more he pled, it's like they fed on the brothers pleading to just continue to do what they did.
So should we be, instead of, I don't know, I mean, in your best description, instead of us teaching each other how to be civilized, we might need to take those teachings and teach these white officers that's in authority on how to be civilized, how the proper handling of human beings.
And that's the part of the struggle with the new reform laws and all this other stuff that's supposed to be written and implemented. You have to teach law enforcers how to mind the law themselves.
Right.
You got to teach these people who are supposed to uphold the law how to stay within the law themselves.
Right. It's hard. I mean, it shouldn't be this hard. I mean, I saw the marches that was held over the weekend on voters' right laws, and they're going back saying, that the specific laws that was passed in Texas set black people back 58 years. And it's like, how long can you deal with the same issues? When will it become exhausting? And when will the line be drawn in the sand and say maybe they just are who they are?
Well, isn't it interesting that when you talk to some black people, it's like, well, that's the past. That's over with. Those are generations ago. We was in slavery then. Now we're free, and so on and so forth. But isn't it interesting that new generations are coming up doing the same thing that the old generation did?
Right.
And we still have to plead with our people like, hey, man, no. Pay attention to what's going on here. You may have a buddy at work. That's fine. Y'all work. Y'all have camaraderie and whatnot, and y'all go home, and everything should be peaceful and civilized. But new generations are coming up repeating this stuff.
I know, man.
Over and over again.
I know,
so it's not
man.
the past, man. You're living in the present.
I saw this young white girl, look like she about 18, 19, right? Told his sister to go back in the cotton field and go make her a T-shirt. If I could have jumped through the screen, sister could have, go back to the cotton field and go make her a T-shirt. Bro.
Hey, that was a good one, man. That was a good one, man.
You said that was a good you know what I'm saying? Boy, look at here. Look, I mean, in 2021, bruh.
Hey, we had to teach them how to put shirts on their backs, man. So
right.
It's hilarious in one sense, and then it's funny in another. That was a good shit. That was a good one, though.
She got a what in, huh?
Yeah, she got a...
You got a what in.
Okay.
Okay. But like you said, the same old sentiment, the same mentalities. See, and that's the purpose of Verbal Pick Radio, is to find a solution to these problems and then let the people know why this solution will work, because it's been tried and tested. And that's why we go over it in the specific way that we do on certain topics. Because, I mean, this case is more horrific than the case of George Floyd, due to the fact that he was involuntarily injected with a chemical, ketamine.
Yes.
Which causes dizziness, drowsiness. The paramedics had no right or no authority to do that. That was just blatantly disrespectful, and it seems like they enjoyed it. It's like you some sick people, man, that we dealing with.
Right. Turn the vest cam off, the cop cam, whatever you call that thing.
Right.
Turn it off and disregard it, filming the whole incident. Yeah, they really did that and just determined that this man needs an injection because I don't like how he's acting, you know.
Right. That's ridiculous. So I want to say, let me see what they were. Okay, so it said the Aurora Police Department officers Randy Rodema, Jason Rosenblatt, and Nathan Woodyard, and Aurora Fire Rescue paramedics Jeremy Cooper and Peter Sichanick were each indicted on charges of manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide as part of a 32-count indictment. In addition, Rodema and Rosenblatt were each indicted on 1 count of assault and 1 count of crime of violence, and Cooper and Sichaniak were each indicted on 3 counts of assault and 6 counts of crime of violence, right? Wow. And it said when he died, he was only 23 years old. And they speaking of Elijah McClain. He had his whole life ahead of him, and his family and his friends must now go on and must live without him. The grand jury returned the results of the investigation on Thursday, the eve of the 2nd anniversary of McClain's death. Now, I want to read, I'm trying to get to what his mother said. Okay, Elijah McClain's mother relieved he is no longer labeled a suspect after investigation into officers' actions. They would still consider him a suspect, but a suspect of what? A carrying T? You know, how do we get rid of? I mean, okay, let's break this down though, Brother Mark, real quick, right? When they racial profile black men, what is the profile? What is it? Just because we're black men, or is it a specific walk, or what are they lining up the profiling on?
Skin tone.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
That's it.
You profile due to your skin tone.
Yeah.
Which will get you killed in the eyes of public officials, police officers, in which your tax dollars go to help pay their salary so they can then come out and kill you in the streets.
Right. You buying that gun, you buying that uniform, you paying for their badge, you putting boots on their feet just so they can come out and use it on you.
So well something ain't right, bro. You know what? Maybe we don't realize, or maybe you can explain, what type of power do we have as citizens, as black people? Not any other race. As black people, do we have any power as citizens in America?
we have the same power that every other ethnic group has, except that we're not using it. Other ethnic groups use their power, which is the same power that they give you when they see you. It's not just it is skin color, but the skin color is the signal that this is a threat. If I allow this dark-skinned being to do what it is made to do, what it is purposed to do in life, because you're not here for nothing. But if it's allowed to do what it is purposed to do, then I won't exist in the privileged manner that I exist in anymore.
Right.
So you are when they see that tone, they are threatened in so many different ways. And hell, you got different types of haters and different types of races. They're not just monolithic haters and races. It's not a monolithic hate. So they all respond and react in different ways behind the same threat and the same hate. So it's a dynamic thing that we're not ready to deal with it.
Right.
We just want to keep closing our eyes and opening them up and going to sleep and waking up and looking for food and just trying to make it through life. And that's not living, black people, But it's the same power that any other ethnic group has, starting with you have to unite with your own and do for yourself. Stop depending on your tormentor to provide the necessities of life for you and to provide opportunities for you to succeed in that which it is your interest to succeed at what you are supposed to succeed at in life, man.
Well, now I'm currently I just finished part 2 of the emasculation of the black male, right? And the system that was set up to where, just picture this, you in the middle and they got a white person and 4 corners with you in the middle, and they already communicated with each other on whatever strides that you try to achieve, they gonna block you. Right? They want to make it, and this was happening up until the 1950s, 1700 to 1950s. They wanted to make sure that whatever you needed, one, you had to depend on them, because scientifically they was trying to create dependency, right? Then they were like, okay, now if you wanted to have relations with the female, then they would tell you who to go to and use you as a book, right? So they can strip away your natural ability for romance with the woman you choose, right? Then they wanted to humiliate you in front of the woman to strip you of your manhood, to show that you're not in the position to protect your family. Because it said that because in West Africa, coming over here, they studied the tradition and how the position and the title of the male in the household. So they had to break that, right? And they spent time working, they broke it, and they breaking it, right? But they never figured that a time would come where there'll be a high knowledge that would enter into the fold that would strike that down, or that would change the information that was put into the black man and the black woman, right? So now that information has come, and we in a position to read, to gather this knowledge, but he wanted to make it to where reading would be discouraged for us. That's why he stated that if you want to hide anything from a black man, put it in the book. So then you have people like you and myself that'll say, okay, well, we'll extract this knowledge out of a book and put it on media or internet or in the modern day technology, so people can take that knowledge and break that cycle or that curse or that system or that systemic racism or something, to break it, because there's a benefit in being free, right? Because I'm seeing that if you don't free your mind, and all of the things that's taking place with natural disasters and COVID, and if you're not in a position to sustain yourself, you'll be forgotten and just washed away. You know, these people, I mean, look at the hurricane that just hit in Louisiana. Hell, they were still trying to rebuild Ninth Ward from Katrina. They not ready. They not gonna rush into our communities to make sure we okay first. We gonna be the last on the list.
Yes, sir.
Right? So it's like, why? It's like finding that method, bro. Finding that a system, or finding a certain way of teaching to where it can penetrate through all the negativity that's like a wall in front of the soul or the spirit or whatever, you know, to get to, just so that to create just a pinhole so that light can shine through. Because I mean, you know, this is Verpic Radio, so we speak truth, bro. I mean, look, the Hispanics is coming and they building, bro. You know what I mean? And on top of that, we still got to fight racism with the Caucasians, you know. Then we got to deal with, I mean, come on, Mark. Do you think, look. You see they evacuating people from Afghanistan coming to America, right? Uh-huh. Damn it, they better not open up no store in the hood and get rich. Just getting over here. If that man, I would lose my mind, bro.
Oh, man, hold on tight, bro. Because I don't want you to lose your mind, bro.
Come on, man. They can't.
Because when they come, they already writing bills for them to be taken care of, and I'm not mad at that. They should be refugees. That's really what America is. It's just a land of refugees seeking a better life. You know what I'm saying? And calling each other citizens. That's all America is, except we were not refugees, and we weren't pilgrims. And we weren't immigrants. They drug us over here and forced us to build for all of these people who are going to benefit from being refugees and immigrants and so on and so forth. And we have yet to even be considered citizens. Like you just mentioned, we still fighting to vote.
Right.
Still fighting to be able to vote, bro. Wow. And then they're in the public schools tearing up the textbooks. They don't even want us to read. If we do read what we want you to read. Come on, and understand it the way we want you to understand it. This is what happened. You know what I'm saying?
You hit on something. Huh? You hit on something important, Mark. Hold on, bro. You hit on something important. So that means we the burden bearers of the refugees who come to America.
Exactly.
So that's
really what I was saying.
That's what okay, that's powerful, because now we have to find. Now, since we define our role as the burden bearers, right? Now we have to turn that into a positive or power for the burden bearers. We got to flip the script to make the burden bearer be number one. That's how
we do.
Okay.
Because they're not going to recognize us at all. They're going to see what they've been seeing on media before they got here, and now that they're being integrated, they're going to be given the concept that the people who are in authority give them. We already know what they're telling them. We already know. It's just like what you just said about dividing the family, black family. The one who's paying the piper calls the tune. So our sisters are being subsidized just to get rid of us and to ignore us, to disrespect us, to not consider us men anymore. And as long as we pushed out and there are no more factories open and there are no more ditches to be dug, what the hell are we to do? We just supposed to languish until we get swept up into the penitentiary or killed. You see, that's the whole game.
That's the game.
It's a power move.
Yeah.
It's the whole game, bro.
That's the game, bro. That's the game to where we could just, to where someone like Elijah McClain could be walking home from the streets and just killed.
Yeah.
But it was done so heinous to where other countries like, damn, this how y'all. So they gotta indict somebody, because that was just ridiculous. Just like George Floyd, you kneeling on this man's neck for 9 minutes. That's just overkill. Just like Elijah McClain, that was overkill.
Yeah, but believe it or not, they were planning that on a whole community, bro. Remember what Alan Dershowitz said? Alan Dershowitz, we got the power to come plunge a needle in your ass, your arm, if you don't want it. We come plunge a needle in you. You see what I'm saying? If you don't want it. So they were planning it for the whole community. That's what this Elijah McClain, that's why you said this was so important about this Elijah McClain, even more important than George Floyd. Because they kept the thing so secret, first of all. The brother died slow. He was brain dead.
Oh, my God.
The brother was innocent. Had no record. He didn't have no record. I mean, like you said, he's just playing with animals and playing a violin. And
a massage therapist.
Yeah, come on. It's Elijah McClain, didn't bother nobody.
Right.
But they profiled him, and they did him the way they wanted to do the whole community with these needles. And so they're gonna blame the Delta virus on black people. Yeah. So they can come plunge a needle in you if you don't want it.
Like Dan Patrick saying the rise of COVID is due to black people not being vaccinated. And I can't believe they not calling for his resignation, bro. Which some did, but because that's, like I stated, that's like yelling fire in a crowded theater.
Right.
Oh, man, my God, bro.
That's like saying, he did it, somebody gets shot, and like the Warriors movie. The Warriors did it. The Warriors did it. That's all you got to do. And now, the Warriors got to try to make it.
Yeah, you see when Trump was calling it the Kung flu, when the Chinese flu, and see what happened to the Asian community. Now, he didn't learn from that. Now you going to throw a whole race of people under the bus?
Even the Jews was getting it for a minute behind Trump's mouth.
Wow, bro.
They came out in polo shirts and tiki torches. The Jews ain't going to replace us. And then next thing you know, they consecrating temples and And so, hey, it's power in words, bro.
Power in words. Power in words. And, I'm looking at this new abortion law that just was passed, passed today. And they would do anything to try and uplift their population growth. Saying that even if the woman is raped or incest, she still got to keep the baby. And that could be out of desperation. Like I stated, to increase because the latest census showed that there was a decline in the Caucasian population in America, and they want to strengthen their population. So hey, we're in abortions. I mean, I don't get it though. You got all these blacks in Congress, and the majority of people are black and Hispanic. The Caucasian is losing as far as in the population, but how are they able to write all the laws as if they the majority?
Because you get enough compromising black people, like the black woman that's running the Planned Parenthood now. You get enough black people to compromise, then you get the rest of them, just like these fake preachers and pastors running around here thumping Bibles. All you need is one or two compromisers, and you got the rest of them. Because we still haven't been treated for post-traumatic stress disorder in regards to slavery.
Right.
So we still soften the brain any damn way.
Right.
All you need is one compromiser.
Yeah, and I can't believe a black woman with head Planned Parenthood, after all the ills, and even after the woman said she wanted to get rid of black babies like weeds.
After a woman said it, it's documented.
Documented, and you want to run that and oh my God, it's all we can do is keep putting the truth out there and hope folks will gravitate to it and represent and hold up victims such as Elijah McClain in their memory and honor, because he paid a significant price for a lesson for us to learn from, so we can not repeat it, but look into their mindset from how he was treated, badly treated, in the land of the free and the brave.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. But it happened though. It happened, man. This man 23 years old, bruh. Life just snuffed out of him by public officials who didn't give him the benefit of the doubt, who didn't see him as a human being. I'm going to tranquilize you. I'm going to brain dead you. Then you're going to die.
And then I'm going to deny it.
Then I'm going to deny it. Then I'm going to die because I can.
Right.
Because he can. Because I can do it because I got the judge on my side.
Right.
Yeah. I got bag up. What you
can do that.
Yeah.
You ain't nothing. I just do that to you and keep on with my life.
Yeah. And I
here with your family. I ain't even gonna apologize for it.
That's right. All they gonna do is go protest, march, and sing.
Right.
And break a couple of windows.
That's it. And then the next week start forcing ourselves back on the same people again.
Again, man. And again. Hold up, but before we go though, let me ask you this though. Do you think though that it's like that because subconsciously, and maybe we are unaware that we are contributing into and participating in a system that was designed to hurt us? What if we eject ourselves out of this system and created a new culture for black people? Would that matter? That then again, the sad part about it is they still go crazy over the skin tone.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what our goal is. If our goal is to be accepted by them, it don't matter what we do.
Right.
We still second class, third class citizens.
So
Yes,
sir, bro. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the goal. I don't think is to try to get the approval of people who hate you. It's just common sense. We're not using our minds, man. We don't need to be trying to be accepted and validated by people who don't give a damn about us and think that we are animals. That's a simple concept,
Right.
Be a human before you expect somebody to treat you like one. A human being ain't gonna allow another person to just handle them any kind of damn way.
Right. Fact.
And if you love them that much, show them how to handle you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Trust me. The white guy that's watching you lay down so he can walk on you every day hates you for that.
Come on.
If you show them better, he gonna respect you.
Facts, bro. That's a fact. A fact. So that means, let me ask you this. Could we do like the Chinese community where we separate, have our own little community, our banks in our town, and just deal with each other? Or would they still come after us?
Oh, they coming. But with this time, we should already have learned from Black Wall Street. Just have your defense ready. Well, they coming.
Anyway.
They can't help it. They meddling everybody's all over the damn globe. They do that any damn way. Look at Afghanistan. The people was over there. I mean, before it really, really got started, way before Taliban and ISIS and all that got created, people was over there doing what they do before regime change went over there. So, hell yeah. Their worst arch enemy, their, the thing that just, the thorn in their side, going for self and being independent and doing well, they coming.
They coming up.
But hell, what are you?
Right.
Are you a man or are you a damn lapdog, porch animal?
For real. They just finna just walk in there and just start snatching your banks and your money and whatever. Snatch your women and
they ain't finna do that.
Right.
No.
Right. Nah.
No, they're not gonna do that. I can't perceive that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we gonna deal with the traitors. All right. Yeah, I thought we show closed. My bad.
Yeah, I already know, man. It's coming, bro. It's yeah. It's the time. Because we looking real bad. We embarrassed, man. We embarrassed for being treated like this for so long and did nothing about it and took it. It's embarrassing, man. But you do have, people out there that's fighting sisters, believe me. So we ain't all just doomed. Don't condemn us yet, bro.
Yes, sir.
But man, I sure appreciate your time. Appreciate being on the show, brother.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Yes, sir. Burrow Creek Radio. We out.